Hi, and welcome to this webinar from Aspire Training Solutions. My name is Nikki Clamp and I work for Aspire as apprenticeship development executive. I manage everything in terms of learner and employer engagement here at Aspire. So I have lots to do with employers who are interested in taking apprentices on in relation to sports and physical activity. And also I have lots to do with apprentices who are interested in roles with us and with our employers, whether that be starting their career at the very beginning or whether that be as part of their ongoing professional development. So today I'm going to talk to you about who Aspire are, what we do and what apprenticeships we offer, how our apprenticeships work, how we deliver those, and kind of what benefit the apprenticeships have both to the employer and to yourselves if you embark on an apprenticeship in the PE and sports industry. And then I'm going to share with you some top tips for recruitment so that you can maximise your chances of obtaining the apprenticeships that are most interesting to you. And then finally, we will just look at whether or not you would be interested in joining our database so that you could be the first to hear about opportunities that we have up and down the UK. So Aspire are a specialist training partner for apprenticeships. So we only deliver in the sports and physical activity sector. We have our own delivery arm in terms of coaches that work locally across schools in the region, delivering sports and PE to children and young people to get them physically active and to boost the quality of PE that's being delivered in schools. We also have some products and services that are really key to getting kids active and using PE and sports and physical activity as part of the core curriculum. And then we have a coaching network of 40 plus providers across the country who we work with to be able to support them to kind of develop as organisations who are delivering in this industry. And then finally, our training solutions arm, which is around professional development for people that work in this sector, which includes our commercial training courses around like multi-skills and PE and school sports, development for PE specialists in schools and PE teachers, but also our range of apprenticeships, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. So the useful thing to know is that because we've got links with partners up and down the country, we have lots of opportunities that are of interest to people looking for apprenticeships. So it's really good to have that in mind. This is our apprenticeship offering. So we offer level 2 right through to level 4 apprenticeships here at Aspire. So if you are just starting on your journey and you want to kind of gain your first level of experience in PE and school sports, you'd be potentially looking at a community activator coach apprenticeship. And that's really good because it gives you everything you need to know about how to become a really good sports coach. And then we have our teaching assistant with school sports specialism for those who maybe would like to work based in a school and would like to get involved in some of the classroom support stuff as well as specialising in sport and sporting PE specifically. And then we have our level 3 community sport and health officer, which is kind of a little bit more responsibility for maybe managing some projects around engaging different stakeholders, either in a school community or in the wider community or in a particular coaching discipline such as football or cricket, for instance. And then finally, we have our level 4 school sports coach apprenticeship, which is very much the CIMSPA recognised professional standard in the industry. So that's an experienced coach who's out there delivering PE like a class teacher would, really understanding the PE curriculum and things like that. So it's really good to see the roadmap there in terms of lots of our apprentices will start off on maybe a level 2 or level 3 apprenticeship and then progress on to our level 4 school sports coach to be able to reach that professional standard. You'll see on this slide that underneath each of those apprenticeships, it outlines the duration of the programme so that you can see how long those apprenticeships would take. For instance, the community activator coach, it says there 14 months, including EPA. Now, EPA is the endpoint assessment phase, which is the final 2 months of the programme where you link with an external organisation to validate that apprenticeship. So those are the durations listed underneath each of the programmes. And then underneath again, you'll see some additional things that we deliver as part of our apprenticeship. So for instance, again, with the community activator coach, we'll see that we deliver a level 2 or 3 PE and school sports certificate and a level 2 multi-skills coaching award. Now that's really important because Our apprentices will be taking on a variety of roles as part of their coaching role in schools, whether that be employed direct or employed by a coaching company. So for instance, they would support lunchtime activities, they might support a breakfast club, they might support kind of curriculum in the morning, and then support the PE curriculum in the afternoon. And it's all about getting children active. So for instance, in the lunchtime provision, it's about, looking at reducing behaviour issues or friendship issues on the playground, so delivering structured activities like that. It might be that, supporting the PE curriculum in the afternoon to help teachers to prepare for lessons or deliver more exciting and interesting PE lessons. Maybe working with smaller groups to be able to support them to engage in PE more effectively if they're maybe less confident or have additional needs. And then finally, delivering an extracurricular programme, so a wide range of after-school clubs in sports. And when you've got somebody that's delivering a wide range of roles like that, it's really important to underpin those with effective and quality training. So that's why we offer the additional training that's listed underneath each of the apprenticeships, because the PE in School Sports Certificate will help with you being able to support the PE curriculum effectively. So that would be the lesson delivery. And the Multi-Skills Coaching Award would be around you delivering effective after-school provision or coaching sessions, and just generally building, your coaching practice. So we deliver those as part of our level 2 and level 3 apprenticeship as standard, just added value opportunities, and it really boosts your CV and makes it look, quality in terms of the level of experience that you're able to bring to a role. And then you'll see in the centre, we've got our skills festival days. So as part of our delivery, we offer full day trainings on top of our delivery of the apprenticeship, which also then engages you in CPD around supporting behaviour change, so that you understand that the role that you can have with children in terms of impacting on their life choices around physical activity, sports, and just general healthy lifestyles. Looking at the links between mental health and well-being, and those are really crucial, especially coming out of the pandemic. How getting involved in more sports and physical activity can really help children and young people and the wider community in terms of their mental health and well-being. We do some dance, gymnastics and curriculum PE CPD, which is a bit more practical. And then we do some safeguarding and prevent training with you as well, and some of the bits and bobs. So it's a really busy programme, but actually really helps if you are interested in a sports related role, really helps you to get all of the training that underpins the elements of the roles that you'll take on, to build your confidence and help you to reach that occupational competency. This is how we deliver the programme. So you'll see you pop into the system in our recruitment phase, and that might be through some live vacancies that we've got. It might be through our Aspire database, where we contact you because we've got an employer in your area that's looking for an opportunity. Or it might be that you find your own employer and say, I found a training provider that I'd like to use because they offer the type of training that I like. And so we get you into our recruitment phase. Then we move you into our eligibility check. So we will make sure that we check your CV and your qualifications, look at getting you enrolled onto programme, which involves some initial assessments for your maths and English, so that we can make sure we pitch the programme at the right level. And then we also ask you to undertake a skills radar. And that's very much a document which helps us to pitch where you're currently at across the knowledge, skills and behaviours of the apprenticeship, which is really useful to us to make sure that you've got a genuine need for the training, really. Once you're in learning, you will receive monthly tutored sessions for the apprenticeship, and that's with your allocated tutor and a group of other people who are at the same stage of the process as you are. And that's really good because you build that peer-to-peer support, and those sessions are online, but they're really engaging so that you can participate in discussion and things like that. You'll receive tasks and you'll be able to go away and continue to work on those in between sessions. We have a learner management system which is online, and that's really good because you can submit work on there, liaise with your tutor, ask questions and get support. We then have tripartite and interim reviews. So each month you'll have contact with your tutor on a one-to-one basis, and every other month those are our full tripartite reviews. Now, tripartite reviews have your employer present at the same time, so that between us as a training provider, them as the employer, and you as the apprentice, we can make sure that the role is right, that you're well supported, that you're keeping on track to be able to reach endpoint assessment at the right time, and that you're genuinely happy with the programme and the role. We also, as I said before, run our skills festival days for our added value qualifications and our continued professional development opportunities. So we have outside speakers in those. We have, partners that come in and deliver sessions of practical training, and we have our tutors delivering the elements of the additional qualifications that we offer. Now, those are, fully immersive. It's really good to get stuck in, and you'll see people from other programs in those sessions as well, which is really good. And helps you to see that everyone's at a different stage, but everyone's also learning. So some of those are face-to-face in Birmingham, and some of those are remote. So you'd find out about those when you join the programme. Then you move to the final 2 months of the programme, which I explained before is called endpoint assessment. And that's very much the completion of your programme. And you go through something called Gateway, which is where everybody feels that you're ready to be assessed in your occupational competency. And in that final 2 months phase, you will maybe do a presentation. You might have to answer some questions from an endpoint assessor. You might have to be observed in practice. It's a different endpoint assessment process for each of our apprenticeships. But essentially, what pops out the end is you'll be graded pass, merit or distinction, depending on your level of competency. And that's when you're certificated and you leave the programme. We have options for you to then progress on to, like I said before, the level 4, or you can, speak to employers about, further opportunities in the industry. Huge benefits of apprenticeships for yourselves in terms of choosing those as an option for your training alongside delivering a job role. It helps you to really be able to work in the industry that you're passionate about, but also training while you're on the job. So you're developing the experience, but you've got that underpinning theory and you're able to put it into practice straight away, rather than learn in a classroom and then have to wait maybe a long period of time before you put it into practice, where it can be lost or confused a little bit. So it really helps with apprenticeships because you're right in the thick of it, putting it into practice on a day-to-day basis. In the sports and physical activity industry, you are making a difference to children. You are hugely beneficial to their well-being, and they see you as a role model. You've got a huge opportunity to be able to shape the thoughts and values that they have around looking after themselves and being physically active. It's a real privilege. You have the opportunity to engage in high quality training experience, and especially with a specialist like Aspire, that you're getting people who've worked in the industry, who understand the roles, who understand the training that's needed to be able to be, competent and confident in roles like this. So that's really good. And it helps to then, build your CV. As I said before, the additional qualifications really help to show on your CV that you've genuinely got the underpinning knowledge to be able to take on all of the roles that will be expected of you in this type of industry. There's going to be, various different future job prospects and ongoing professional development. And genuinely, I hear from head teachers up and down the country that coaches that come in from external providers or apprentices that are recruited internally to work specifically in their team have a huge impact on whole school improvement. So you will really feel like you have a value to children and young people. I just wanted to really quickly share with you some of my top tips for recruitment before I go. It's so important to come to a role like this with passion and enthusiasm, and that is both in the recruitment process, in the interview process, and in the job role. Children need you to be passionate and enthusiastic about sports and physical activity, otherwise they're not going to be. But also employers will need to see that from you so that they actually believe that you're going to make that difference to those children. So I'd say that's why I've put a box around that one, because that's my biggest one. In terms of recruiting on character rather than CV, I will meet with lots of apprentices, and if they are passionate and enthusiastic, they've already got me interested. Have a good quality CV, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be that you're the end product straight away. What we're looking for is somebody who can demonstrate that they are excited about working in this industry, people who maybe have listed transferable skills that they might have, or other things they've been involved with, or prior experience and prior jobs that they might have taken on, even if it's volunteering. List it all on your CV, explain why that's useful, and try and make it relevant to the job application that you're kind of putting in. We can't read your mind, so if you don't tell us, we'll think that you don't have those skills and that level of interest, and you could be excluded from a recruitment process, which would be really sad. Try and get some involvement in some relevant work experience or volunteering. And that's really good because it gives you something to put on your CV, which I've just mentioned. That CV speaks about you when you can't. It's a piece of paper that people will read, and they'll make judgments on whether or not you might be somebody they'd like to take forward. So if you've got relevant work experience or volunteering to put on your CV, then that's going to really help you to stand out in the application process. But also in interview, it gives you something to talk about. It gives you something to apply all of that passion and enthusiasm to. So it will again help you to stand out, and it will also prepare you in confidence levels for the role. If you've already done some experience and done some work experience or some volunteering, or you've had maybe a small job role, casual hours or whatever, for a sports company or a provider in this area, then you'll have the chance to apply all of that sort of experience and knowledge into your job role, and it'll just make you that little bit more confident and prepare you. And it's really important to be committed to hard work. A bit linked to the passion and enthusiasm really, but commitment to the hard work is really crucial. You need to be committed to turn up every day. These children and these employers need you to turn up to work, but they also need you to be motivated, to show enthusiasm, to be showing initiative, and to get stuck in and work hard. And similarly, we would expect that from the training. We want you to be working hard within the training side of things, so that you are on track, you're getting assignments completed, and that you want to get to endpoint assessment and complete your apprenticeship. Be well prepared on your employer and well researched. So, have a look at their website and find a bit about them. Employers love it if you can share with them that you've looked at their website, or give some key facts about what they do, because it shows that you're genuinely bothered. Suggest maybe doing a trial session or a practical task. That's always goes down really well with employers. So you could say to them, I'll come and do a day for you so you can see me. Watch me with the children, watch me with a group of children, or ask if you can do a practical task with them to show what skills you've got, or what understanding you've already got about working with children, your interpersonal skills working with children, the ability to build relationships with them or manage their behaviour. All of that in a trial session or practical task is really, really good. And then my final one at the bottom there with an exclamation mark is the be honest one. We have lots of apprentices who have maybe not been quite so honest on their CV, and it just doesn't look good. You will be found out. Don't put the wrong grades down. Be honest. It's fine if you haven't got your maths and English. That's part of the apprenticeship offer, is that we can put you through your functional skills, maths and English, at the same time as your apprenticeship. Don't say that you've got different grades than you've got, or that you've got qualifications that you don't have, because we have to make eligibility checks, and it then just makes people question your character. So just be honest. And like I say, if you're bringing that passion and enthusiasm, then you're already halfway there. There's a quote here that you'll be able to have a look at in your own time, in terms of the apprentices' feedback around how the role has an impact on them, how the training has an impact on them, and just their kind of ongoing future development. And then finally, scan the QR code if you would like to join our database, and then you'll be able to hear about our opportunities locally, and we can also sort of look at employers that are in that area and see whether or not they might be interested in you, and we can then request your CV and get that sent over to them. Look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that's been useful. It's very sort of intense, but if anybody has any questions, they are more than welcome to contact me direct by email, and I'd be able to get into kind of a more in-depth discussion. But other than that, it's been really nice talking to you, and I wish you all the very best for your future, whether that be apprenticeships or otherwise. Make the right choices and just bring your energy to any role that you take on. Thank you.